one time to somebody about a rumble seat. It was just recently. A rumble seat? What's a rumble seat? A rumble seat is the seat that's in the back of the car. You fold the lid and it's one solid, but if you want to ride in it, you open the lid. You know.
And you had a model...
We had a Model T that we had to crank.
Okay.
That was the first car, a Model T that we cranked. Okay. Yes, I can remember that. Grandma was going one time when she was going someplace, and we were going, and there was a Y in the street. It was icy, and we were going down the one side, and there was a car in front of us, and Grandma started sliding, and she did not want to hit the car because there were kids in the other car, and so she went off the side of the road. You know, none of us were hurt. We were all great, but oh yeah, you know, the old Model T.
And you got your first phone in
43 in May of 43, when Grandpa Gurman came to stay with us when he was sick. So when he got to feeling better, he could go fishing with Elmer, who was my dad, which he never did. We had to get a phone to keep the other family members advised of his condition. He came up on the 9th of May, and died, I think it was the 12th of June. So, yeah. So we weren't even home when he came. Uncle Johnny had graduated from the 8th grade, and we were down there for the afternoon ceremonies, and we come home, and there they are, sitting and waiting in the car. Uncle Al had brought them up. So.
And did you know he was coming?
No, we did not know he was coming. And that was during the food rationing. So Grandma had, my mother had their rations, but everybody came up, and Mother never complained, but she told me later, absolutely no one brought food, offered them the ration stamps or anything. Chris would talk about ration. Gas was rationed, shoes were rationed, tires were rationed, you know, everything. You had so many meat stamps, and so many sugar stamps, so much staple stamps, you know, and all things. So it was a thing.
Yeah.
No, you just don't do that now.
Yeah. Now Ed was telling me that Grandma McHale used to really like fishing.
Oh, yes. We used to, when we were in grade school, Grandpa was working. I don't ever remember that much about Grandpa, my dad, because he worked so much, and
well, and he was on the railroad, so he was gone.
He was a Boilermaker by trade, and I know during the Depression, he and all of the other workers took less hours so no one would lose their job, so everybody would have, you know, and that's a great thing, you know, that they would do that. I know Grandpa wasn't happy when the diesel engines came in, because it was totally different. But then he did do the, you know, labor, but he was a Boilermaker by trade. Grandma was a tailoress by trade, and I'm saying tailoress, not seamstress, because she worked in a men's clothing store, and she when she came to Dayton, and then after we got a little bit older, she made men's clothing, made all my clothing from the time I was little and everything. I was going to say something else, and what was I going to say? Boy, the mind is the first thing to go.
Were you talking about Grandma fishing?
Oh, yeah, fishing, thank you. She used to pack a lunch, and we would go over to Huffman Dam, and we would fish. Uncle Johnny and I would take our homework and go over there and do it. I don't remember Grandpa doing much fishing at all. I know when I was in nurses training, I remember going to Chautauqua Dam down here south of town. I can't remember even where it is. And he fished then, but he did not fish much at all. Teresa and Annie take after Grandma. I used to like to fish, but I have not fished all that much. Teresa goes all the time. Annie doesn't go as much, but I know she'd like to go more.
And the rumor is that Grandma just used a cane pole?
Oh, shoot, yes.
Okay.
And first of all, that was all when we started going fishing, that was all that was available. I don't ever remember Grandma using a riding real.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't ever remember that. So.
Granted, it might have been a little early, but I can just picture her doing that.
Oh
too.
yeah. And, you know, a double pole, and she'd sit. If we caught fish, that was fine. If we didn't, I don't know. We had a goldfish pond in the backyard on Westona. It started out as Weston. We had a goldfish pond, and then and she had a rock garden up, and it went up the hill, and she had all kind of stones, all kind of things. The fish pond had rocks around the front and everything, and we had lilies in it and everything. And then the goldfish started dying. Well, then we put the game fish in. And we used to go and clean it out with the catfish in there.
Oh, my.
But, you know, after we left and they still lived there, they had to fill it in because the neighbor kids came over and got too close to the pond. Now, when we were growing up, no one bothered the pond.
Right.
But they started to, and they had to fill it in. I don't know if it's still there. But
and this wasn't the house on Bluebird. It was
this was the house on Westona.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they moved there on Bluebird in the 50s. Because I can remember the kids playing out in the dirt at the side of the road, and I know that Barb was born. So, because she was out there, so it had to be the middle 50s. Wow. You know, and I asked Uncle Al, we were talking about Grandma and Grandpa, or Gross Mom and Gross Pop moving to the city, and I asked Uncle Al and Aunt Martha when they moved to the city, and they have no idea. They don't know.
And what city was it they moved to?
They were at Ripley.
Okay.
Yeah. Grandma was born in Wilmington. No, Little Texas, which is really Wilmington, but she grew up in Ripley, and practically everybody else was born in Ripley. Wow. So, yeah.